Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We have morning and evening sessions right now. And welcome to the Women's Wisdom Circle on the full moon and on the summer solstice, powerful moment of in between. So I'm welcoming New Zealand, Bridget, California, Viviane, and England, Fiona, and Liz in Finland, and myself, I'm in France. So welcome, and let's take a moment to connect inwards and to see really what is ready to be discharged and to be left behind, as this is really a good time to do it on the full moon, even though the full moon was yesterday. But it's still the potent time of releasing and then looking at what wants to emerge with the solstice in this powerful moment of in between. Some people talk about this as a stargate, even. Like the planetary conjunction that are happening in the sky right now bring in an extra dosage of light and consciousness. So let's use this for our own kind of personal growth and our own personal intentions, what we would like to manifest in the next second part of the year. So just with those intentions, see what emerges for each of us. And I'm going to just guide us through a short little inner meditation to connect to what is present, and we always go with what is present. Nothing has to take a specific form except allowing what wants to emerge in the circle. So just connecting to each of you to the breath, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so, and taking a few deep breaths. Let's take 3 full breath in, releasing, full exhale together. First breath in. Another deep breath in. Fully exhaling. And one last deep breath in. Fully releasing. And as you continue breathing at your normal rhythm, allow that connection to the larger field of life. Connecting first the feet to the earth and allowing the energy of the earth to guide us, to move in through our feet, our legs, filling our torso, our shoulders, arms and hands, our head, even seeing that energy shooting out to the top of our head and connecting to the universal energies around us. The moon, the sun, the brightness that is present right now at this time of the year. It's the brightness of the full moon, which is exceptionally close to the earth, or the length of the sun that is up in the northern hemisphere for many hours. It was still bright at 10 p.m. last night in France. Different in the southern hemisphere. obviously. Just allowing that light, the cosmic energy, deeply connect through our bodies, like an antenna, like a rod of light, connecting us to the center of the earth. Each of us being a unique individual, deeply grounded and deeply connected. Each having a unique expression to bring through. Each having a unique voice to contribute to the world, to life, to what is needing to be said through each of us. Just allowing that connection to get grounded within you. And in that space of connection, taking a moment to connect with your heart, the place where your spirit resides, where your soul whispers and guides, hearing what that voice wants to bring through today. Taking a moment to connect within the circle, joining our virtual hands, sending energy to the right hand throughout the world and receiving energy to the left hand, allowing that circulation of energy from top to bottom and from right to left to connect us powerfully to who we really are. That oneness, that divine essence that resides in each of us and has a unique expression to each of us. Just allowing that connection to get anchored in. And taking another deep breath in. This time when you exhale, reconnecting to your physical body wherever you are located in the world. Taking another deep breath in. And gradually coming back to normal consciousness. Move your body a little, wiggle your head and your hands, just really become fully anchored in the present moment. And whenever you're ready, come back into the virtual space and come back to the room. Welcome. Welcome. Hi. Just want to convene my condolences to you, Bridget, personally, in those difficult moments, and really send my love for this transition that you're going through right now. And May I share with the group what you have shared with me, Bridget? Or you would rather not present?
That's fine.
Fine. Bridget had lost her mom 2 weeks ago, exactly on the day we talked. So I just, want to give you some extra, space, and mm,
Thank you.
and it's all right if you want to share, and if you don't want to share, I totally understand. It's totally we are in a safe space here. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Well, she was a very brave woman.
Mm.
10 weeks ago, she had a nasty fall, and she cut her artery above her eye.
Mm.
And if she hadn't fallen just outside the doctor's surgery, she would have died then from loss of blood. She broke her wrist and damaged the whole of her left side of the body. And I have been going up to be with her as frequently as I could. She's about 4 hours driving.
Mm.
And she was doing really, really well.
Mm.
I was the last person to see her alive. I left her and came back. We had our meeting. And then she died that day. So,
Mm.
but she died as she lived, a woman fully in control of her life, and that's what she wanted. So, but we're all grateful. Mm.
Mm.
She was an inspiration to me, a total inspiration. I wrote about her in one of my newsletters recently, because right throughout her life she kept even when she was in her 90s, willing to see the world, see what was happening in the world, and change her behavior.
Wow.
Extraordinary woman, really. So yeah, she was an inspiration. So thank you for letting me share that.
Mm. Yes, I remember a picture you shared of her on your boat,
Yeah.
and she really looked like, oh my God, this is a trooper, she is really like a powerful soul, that, you could just see it through her, expression on that
Yeah.
picture, like a
Yeah.
powerful presence. I didn't know her, just knew her from that picture.
Yes, she was a powerful soul indeed. So, yep. So it's hard, but each day, one day at a time now.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, Bridget, for sharing your mother with us. Thank you. Ah, and I'm welcoming Elena from Australia. Hello, we haven't seen you for a long, long time.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Because I can't see myself. I have a green screen for some reason, but it's good to be here, even as a green screen.
We can see you. Yes.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay.
We can see you on the picture. I can see you at least. It's a bit dark in your area, but I can see you. Yes. So welcome.
Very good to see everyone. Thank you.
Yes. Good. So I just want to take a moment to also share what has been present for me and what I am releasing and letting go. Probably for the nth time, because this is not only, once in a you know, sometimes I have the attitude that, okay, this is it, this is handled now forever. And then when the issue comes up again, I have a tendency to judge myself, you know, so that self-judgment is something that I am releasing once again, and really allowing for more self-love and self-acceptance. And what I've realized also is that given that right now my only kind of connections to clients or source of connection is through the internet, the fact that I have no local community. Well, that's really what it is. I have no local community, and my community is usually via the internet, via people like you. You know, circles we meet twice a month, or in other groups that I am active in. Various courses that I've taken, I'm still participating in. So the tendency of comparing myself through the internet is bringing in those judgments. And what I'm seeing is like, well, this is really also up for releasing in a powerful way. And my intention for the second part of the year is to totally work on releasing that that comparing myself to others, you know, and really like living from what I want to do and just doing it. Never mind if it brings in any money. Never mind if it is what I ought to do, or if it is what is supposed to happen this way or whatever. Just really loving myself enough and doing what I want to do when I want to do it, like from the perspective of what my soul wants to express, what I am here to bring through. It's not because it will bring something, it is supposed to happen this way, just really allowing that full expression to dare come through, and not be stopped by the conformity, you know. I mean, I've worked so much my whole life at releasing myself from the programs, the conforming stuff, and now I'm realizing that there's another level of conformity that gets vehiculated through the internet. And when I became conscious of that, it was like, oh, that's the next level of programming to kind of free myself from, and just dare be myself, my unique voice, and see what emerges. You know, never mind if it comes out in an awkward way. You know. So, thank you, Liz. You can relate with what I'm saying. Great. Would you like to chime in? You have to unmute yourself.
Well, yes, first of all, good morning, everyone. Really happy to see you all here. And it's been quite an intense period of time for me too. And somewhere in between, I've been carefully checking the kind of thoughts and ideas, Aline, that you just mentioned. And actually just this morning I read a Facebook post that was all about hard work. You really need to work hard. It needs to feel hard. It has to be hard somehow. And that was a very good text to reflect that I've been working hard too, but probably in a very different way that people usually think that hard working is. I worked hard and I've given everything. I've given so much that I realized, let's say about a month ago, that my feminine is exhausted, fatigue, done, so tired and exhausted that there is nothing left to create something more. I've been creating and creating and creating more, and doing that without the support of my inner masculine, the authentic supporting masculine. And so I've let myself, or my feminine, to take a holiday. And I've tried to carefully stay on that holiday with my feminine, and starting a little by little, step by step, and really tiny baby step by step, learning how exhausted my feminine has been. For eons, I'd say. I've been just creating and living without the support, or actually in the absence of my masculine. So I'm also at the same time starting to learn what could it be like to be supported. All the creation, all the creative work that I'm hopefully doing in the very near future, if that would be supported, held in a special way, so I wouldn't have to create and struggle with the support and making it concrete and taking tangible steps and making it all happen at the same time. So it would be more like a dance, hopefully an Argentinian tango, I hope. But anyways, a dance between the feminine and the masculine, and the feminine would have solos going on there with beautiful steps like women do in Argentinian tango, and the masculine would be the supportive, let's say, somehow fully present and co-working, but at the same time knowing where its place is in this beautiful tango of life. So that's my perspective to it. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing your perspective, Aline.
Thank you. I can see you whirling, but held at the same time and guided. That's what's coming through for me, Yes. Thank you, Liz. And I am giving myself 2 months in France by myself, just listening in and doing what wants to emerge, and not feeling I have to follow something like a structured whatever, So I booked my ticket for the 24th. So who wants to step in and share? Next. Fiona, would you like to unmute yourself and come in?
Yes, I'm here. As always, sort of the judgment has been coming up for me, and also looking at the death process, recognizing that sometimes I'm very sad and I haven't perhaps allowed myself to grieve. And there's been a lot of sadness in the UK with Joe Cox, and politics has really started to come into my space, and that really caused a lot of turmoil. But as I embraced it and was able to honour my feelings, and really with the support of this group as well from the last call, so thank you. I was able to start to realise that I wanted to just hide away from it, but that wasn't what I had to do. I had to really ask for help and listen to the guidance. And what's coming for me, it's like being in the world, but not off the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guidance comes very clearly, and it's whether I choose to follow it or not. And the other thing that's been coming through for me is the fact of the feminine feeling as if I'm very vulnerable and I've got a fear of the strong male energy. And yet I know that I'm being called and almost asked to be in that environment. So I've been asking for strength, and I've got a trip planned to my homeland, which is Scotland. And I never go to Scotland unless I'm visiting my parents. And it's been a difficult decision for me, but I'm actually going to go with some friends who are coming from Australia, who are such beautiful souls, so joyful and just wonderful. I've got a real connection with them, and I'm actually going to go for 4 days to my homeland and explore. And I know that I get such strength from the glens and the energy sites. So that's my sort of little sabbatical. But everything feels like, every little thing I'm doing feels like I'm trudging through mud. It's like I'm sort of, oh, I got to do this, and I've got so much resistance coming up, but I know that it will pass. And just by turning up quite a lot of the groups, and then I just don't want to turn up, and then I do, because I know that I need that support and love, and when I do turn up, it's what I receive. So that's where I am at the moment, in this moment, and I'd just like to thank you all for being present here.
Thank you, Fiona. What comes up for me is like, this is I believe it's a full moon in Sagittarius. It's about releasing all the stuff that is not your truth, where you're not in your truth. So all that, that yuck stuff that comes up, and that you are facing and clearing. We are all facing and clearing, because it's happening around us, is to bring more of who we are, and to be more present to that energy of that co-creative divine essence that has something to say. We've been working through a year now together, on and off for some of us, where we have released so much, and it's, that judgment part of the traditional masculine, the conditioned patriarchal masculine, which is not really what Liz is talking about. She's talking about the supportive masculine. That has often held us back, at least me, held me back, because it judged, well, you're not yet there, because it was the standard of the patriarchal masculine, which is not really the masculine that is the inner masculine, which is that source of strength that works in collaboration with the creative feminine, and that dances like, the Argentinian tango that you are referring to. And that's a learning. We are really stepping into a new era. And we are collectively stepping into that new era. And it's not a black and white type of something, and that traditional masculine has that black and white, it's either this or that, there is kind of no intertwining dance, and this is what life is all about, and this is what needs to be allowed in the world, like a freedom to dance and to co-create together. And it really is through each of us doing it within ourselves that it's going to happen. It's not happening outside, that's clear to me now. It's like I have to shift the world within, And when I shift the world within, more people doing that will shift the world outside. It always starts internally first. Nothing external before it has happened internally.
Yeah, and I think in the last call you shared about how you were sharing with your husband, and you know, I know that we've had similarities with that with our relationships, and I find that when I break through that perception that isn't real, and I come from that authentic place, and allow space for my husband to speak and be his authentic self, a lot of wonderful things manifest. But there's still that, you know, it's as talking about it, it's the light's been shining on it, that comes up again. But now I seem to have some sort of trigger mechanism to stop and say, this is ego speaking, this isn't real, this is, you know, I see the essence of him. And the more I'm doing that, the more our world is transforming. And the other part that I wanted to share was, because of what I've been learning from this group and from, you know, other people as well, my own, I was able to share with a young girl last night, who's the Reiki one with me, and she got what you've just said. You know, I shared with her exactly what was required in the moment, and she realised that she had to do the inner work rather than blaming her boss and everything, you know. And she is now going to go back into that workplace and you know, say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. So that is, you know, the work isn't necessarily paid, but that is my purpose, to create environments for young people to flourish. And when I remember that and think, it doesn't matter if it isn't the structure of how a business is meant to be, you know, that is what as you said, what my soul is my soul business is calling me to do. So I'm doing a lot of exploring with, you know, what the business wants and what I want. So that's a new area. So yeah, so it's lovely that the work I think we're doing, perhaps it's not structured, but it's actually having such a powerful effect on everybody else we touch. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, just expressing what you came here to express, when you dare do it without it having to equal a dollar sign, you know. That's where my judgment was for a long time, you know, where I should by now have, you know, whatever in place, you know. And then I'm not in the moment, then I'm not in the in my soul's guidance, then I am in a judgment of some kind of a standard I'm attempting to conform to, and I'm losing myself. I'm not connected, you know. So it's that dance, you know, that catching myself and accepting what is, and accepting. The more I can accept where I'm at, the more I can accept where another is at. And the challenge is always with my husband also, because he's just left this morning. He's returning back to Canada. He was here for 3 weeks. And it's exhausting for me to be around him, because we are so much at a different pole. We are, you know, he is a Gemini and I'm a Sagittarius. So it's like the extremes, you know. And but what I'm seeing, what he triggers in me, it's got nothing to do with him, is what I have to work on for myself. And that's what I'm taking on, working on that self-acceptance.
Yeah.
And that following what wants to emerge through me, even if it doesn't conform, even if it doesn't look like, you know, it's like trusting that something will take form through me. without it having to conform to an internet standard, for example. So I'll see what emerges. Giving myself a vacation for 2 months to stay here, to stay put, and to listen in and to work on what wants to emerge, that I've seemed to have put off because I have to have certain things in place before I do those things. That's again like a conditioning. It's again trying to conform to something that is not what my soul wants. And then when, last week I had such a realization. I said, well, whatever I have attempted to do is a dead end. It doesn't bring anything. It doesn't even give me feedback. So maybe I've got to stop doing this and try just being myself and do whatever I want to do, and then see what that will bring. So that will be a new experience that I will work on. So we'll see how that transpires in the next couple of months, when I'm going to give myself that space.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who would like to bring in their wisdom? Bridget?
Well, I'm curious about something you said, Liz, and I'd love to explore it. What I heard you say was we have to work hard. Is that what you said? I'm really curious about this. We have to work hard. I certainly don't believe that. I think we have to work with purpose and on purpose and deliberately. But the concept of hard work seems to me to come from a world that I don't want to be part of. And I'm not saying that I can't work hard or that I don't want to work hard when that's required. But it just felt to me as if that language was punitive. And so I have this curiosity about that. Why do we need to punish ourselves through this hard work? For me, it's more about accepting and being kind and being curious as to where the energy is, rather than that hard work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me a possibility to maybe a little bit clarify my message. Maybe I wasn't quite clear with it. What I meant or tried to describe was that working hard comes, the way I see it, from the patriarchal worldview and the masculine left brain and that worldview. And it's the outer guidance or manipulation, as I see it. And it's the pressure. Aline was describing a little bit the same thing. It equals whatever your currency is, dollars or euros or whatever, and that's the only measurement that makes your work somehow valid. And to me, all this working hard as a outer, coming from the society, coming from the worldview that money actually makes the world go round, and when you're not making all that money, you get to you're drawn into that same energy that you need to work harder. Or that worldview brings us the idea that you're worth of something, brings you worthiness when you work hard, even you don't have a purpose, even you don't have a direction, even though you wouldn't know where you're going and why. You just have to work harder, and that somehow makes you more, makes your life more, makes your life more valuable. And releasing all that, and at the same time realizing that my feminine has been working so hard, creating for 10 plus years a method to help other women to create. So it's been hard working creation going on, sort of. So I tried to explain a little bit of the background, why my feminine is so exhausted, and why I want to dance with my inner masculine to find the joy in creation and find a new level to be creative in a totally new way also. And as I'm starting the dance, the Argentinian tango, and the first steps, and waiting for the ocho to come in its turn, and so on, I'm also changing the worldview from working to serving to being a volunteer in my life. And that is actually a valuable worldview too, being a volunteer. Whatever I'm doing, trying to find the volunteer in me to be able to serve in the right way that I feel right for me. And yes, and when exploring all this and wondering what I'm going to be when I grow up, I don't know yet. Let's see. This space in between, or the time and space in between, I also find that this is very, let's say, meaningful time and space at the same time as an experience, because my steering or my guidance group has left me, and I know that there will be time for a new one. So we are meeting in the right meeting place, which is, I guess, written in time somewhere. And for that, I need to, or I want to, I choose to, but I definitely, I'm happy to find my steps, the new rhythm, the new way to dance to. And as I've been doing some inner work with my masculine, now he's there, he's waiting for me to surrender into his arms, which sounds very romantic, but actually that is what's going on, because I have not been able to trust my inner masculine ever before. So I'm practicing in receiving and surrendering. So that may be the opposite for hard work, I guess. That the worldview of hard work and being valuable only in that way. And I don't know, maybe next time when we meet here, I will have more to share with you about this, how to be a feminine in masculine arms, enjoying the tango. Let's see. But anyways, thank you for giving me a chance to clarify what I meant with my words. Thanks, Bridget.
I totally get it now. I think perhaps I was a little bit lost in my sadness when you said it first, but no, I absolutely understand, and I send you just much joy in this journey. Actually, that's what I send you. much joy in this dance.
Yeah, actually, I guess I had a feeling last night when I went to bed that the night is going to be special. And yesterday my feelings were a little bit different, so I had to spend some time by the beach here and being more connected with myself and with life around me. And I had a feeling that the night was special, very special. It sort of matured something that has been being slowly or in its own phase, probably right phase, rhythm, but for me a bit slowly, because I would be like ready now immediately, and then we're ready for the next step. But the rhythm that life has and is willing to share with us and giving us enough time to explore what needs to be explored sometimes is frustrating, but last night was special as it promised to be. And today I'm seeing a lot of joy, feeling a lot of joy with the first steps of the tango.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Liz. There is one thing that I have that has caught my ears when you were sharing, when you were saying, when I grow up. Maybe we will never grow up. Maybe that's what the whole game is all about. Isn't that somewhere a saying that it is the children that will find what is it? What is that saying? The key to heaven is when you are children, and maybe we don't have to grow up. Maybe it's like we have to unlearn and decondition ourselves from the grown up kind of stuff that is kind of putting us into that rigid kind of stance that doesn't allow the flow of all those energies. That's kind of what kind of came for me when I heard you say, when I grow up. So
Yeah. I haven't been really careful with my words today. I'm sorry. What I meant more like well, maybe one step back. I think it's quite clear for all of us that we are starting a new cycle, a totally new kind of cycle, and the superstructures that hold life, support life, are changing. So to me, that means starting probably a new long count of life.
mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know, maybe it happens today. Could be the first day of the long count of life with the new superstructures supporting us. We have no idea what we are going to face, what we are going to experience, and probably it's beyond everything that we can imagine today. So if there is something to expect without expecting anything, but let's say I'm prepared for miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And with miracles, to me, they are always positive, good, meaningful, and any miracle is a good miracle. There are no smaller or bigger ones. But anyways, personal miracles, collective miracles, that means that life itself is also taking a new cycle on this planet. Life as a co-creator with us in a very different way, in a very different active way that it has been ever before. So I really don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up, when this cycle shows its rhythm. Maybe we'll hear the music and listen to the lyrics of a very different story that we have ever before. And I've let go a lot, like my method, my clients, my way of doing things before. My method has been my child and loved one, a loved child for years. I've been creating it, and I know it's unique, and the results have been remarkable, and so on. But I'm really ready to let go of it, and taking the holiday to truly experience what's going on. And whatever it is, I get the chance to reconsider who am I in this big collective picture called life. Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any ideas? Anyone?
Well, what I last night I listened to I'm getting those. I'm part of another group that is called the Your Year of Miracles. You were kind of talking about miracles, so that kind of triggered this for me. And every Monday we get like the Monday messages, and the message that I got yesterday was radical celebration. I mean, what was shared is like all of us here, we are better off than 99% of the world. We are connected to the internet, the computer, we have food, we have a roof on our, and we have so much to give and to share. And we're still kind of sometimes looking at the glass half empty. And as a practice for this week, what was suggested to us in that group, is like, why don't you celebrate, radical celebration, just be grateful for everything that you already have that is working, rather than seeing what still is not working. So that's going to be one practice I will take on this week, remembering that, and when you said that, kind of brought that up, and I want to share that with you, radical celebration. And I don't know if Viviane or Elena, you want to chime in. We have another 5 minutes before our hour is over, so I want to give you a chance to come in and share. Viviane, yes, you are muted yourself. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, Elena. So Viviane, and then after Elena, okay? Just go ahead.
Sorry? Yeah, I just thank you so much for sharing, Liz. It's something that definitely resonates with me, this whole idea of when I grow up kind of thing. And I've reflected on that quite a fair bit over the last few weeks. And what came up for me, sorry, it's just my son is participating as well. What came up for me is I've stopped measuring my being and my path in human lifespan, if that makes any sense. Like, I've realized that everything is actually far beyond, and exactly that position. We will never grow up, but and this is not the point of it. The point of it is not to grow up. The point of it is to keep going and to keep evolving. So it might at times feel like this path is never ending, but it's probably just because it is. But thank you so much for sharing and contributing, everyone. It has been a while for me to be part of this group, and I'm so grateful. You do not understand how very special each and every one of you are, and I'm just grateful to be in your company. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for sharing what you did. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Viviane.
Well, I was going to share about what I have an intention of letting go of in this moon period, and what I have an intention to welcome into my life for the next while. And I want to let go of my aloneness and isolation. And I would like to be able to welcome new people and new positive experiences into my life. And as some of you know, I've been looking to perhaps move out of the area that I'm in. And it has been a very difficult decision to make, and very hard to even think of my future somewhere, anywhere for that matter, ever since I experienced the death of my dearest friend. The mourning and grieving has been with me for 2 years now. The anniversary of her death came up Friday. And I thought I would be very mournful that day, but instead I felt a sudden joy bathing my heart. And I felt it coming from her, telling me, you've grieved enough now. Now it's time for you to open up to joy and bliss. And so I want to take this opportunity not to let go of my grief, because you never stop grieving, really, but to be able to let go of my belief that I have to be alone, that I'll always be alone, and that's the way it's been, and that's the way it's going to continue. I want to be able to welcome in a new life. And speaking of vacation, I haven't had a vacation since 1989. So I think it's time for me to take some time off somewhere, if I can possibly muster it, and to be able to still take my little dog with me, and maybe find someone to leave the cat with. Because that's ever since I got them, I haven't gone anywhere, not even for a couple of days. So, and I feel that I need to be here for them, because only I can take care of them the way they need to be taken care of. Their own medications and different time slots and this and that. So, anyways, I would like to open up to receiving my good. And that's how I'd like to live the next 6 months of this year, and to be able to really welcome it in and be open to whatever joy can muster itself in my life. So thank you for listening.
Wonderful. This is such a beautiful message, allowing joy and new energy and not be alone. Wonderful. I love this.
Aline,
Yes.
can you hear me? I cannot hear you very well. Okay, good. I have a special wish actually today when we are closing. You may know there is an old Cherokee song called Morning Song. And maybe you have heard it, maybe you're familiar with it, or at least with the tune. And I sing it to myself every time that I need to be rooted back in life. Let's put it that way. And I found a lot inside the song, just the rhythm and the we don't really maybe understand the words as they are in Cherokee and so on, but I have past life as a Cherokee lady, so that's why I've come to a very very much love this song, but it is a morning song, and since we are in the morning of new life in so many ways that we have heard today, I would like to sing it to you all. I'm not a singer, so I need to apologize. I really need to, but I just have the need to share this with you, hoping it brings something to you, Bridget, in your situation, present situation, and Vivian, as you were sharing about yours. And it seems to me that, yes, we are all having our morning coffee in symbolic ways in life in general and in our own ways. For me, the morning coffee is always Sans Café moment is really a sacred moment for me and for my dogs, because they share it with me. But the Cherokee morning, is it okay with you if I okay? And if you cannot take it, just leave. I do not.
Take it. I'm just going to mute myself to have a better recording.
Okay. It's a very, well, when they are home, when they are, when they are, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, ya, ya, ya. When they are home, when they are, when they are, when they are, yo, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, ya, 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 ya. Thank you. It's about being together, being connected in the great spirit, in the new dawn of new morning of life. Yeah. Thank you for listening. My first public and audience. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. This was wonderful. I really touched me. I was singing with you somehow.
Thank you.
It came naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Remembering for myself, I have probably had many past lives as an Indian. I'm
Yes.
so such a nice time. Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right, so we have been talking for a little over an hour. I want to give you an opportunity to make a closing comment if you want, and if we are complete, then we'll be connecting in a couple of weeks on the new moon again and see how this circle is evolving. Thank you for having been present in the circle today. And if you want to unmute yourself and say goodbye, you just do so. And if you want to say something else, Jan?
Good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, Vivian.
I'm about to go to bed now. Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Bridget. Bye, Elena.